Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge we have from 1891. Brook, Kentucky Blended Whiskey. This is a Kentucky whiskey of noticeably finer taste with a special smoothness and mildness, which are the result of masterful blending. Blended and bottled by the old Brook Distilling Company, Frankfort and Claremont, Kentucky, 80 proof. Oh, yeah. Anytime you see Frankfort and Claremont, Kentucky, and it's some strange distilling company you never heard of, that means Beam Suntory. There's the government inspector with his 1891 uniform. None genuine without this trademark. Guardian of quality for generations. So that's the, they're saying this whiskey is produced under government supervision. Well, you know what? Good tequila. All whiskey. You know what? All whiskey is produced under government supervision. So it's a meaningless marketing thing, like they'll say aged in oak barrels. Well, all whiskey is aged in oak barrels. So when they put that kind of stuff, it's just for people that maybe don't know. And it's a selling point, you know what I mean? Ronnie S. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, Ronnie S. All right. The competitor, Four Queens 101, a whiskey a blend. They have to state it two ways. They can either put blended whiskey or whiskey a blend. That's in the Tax and Trade Bureau regulations. There's the Four Queens from Kasser-Laird of Scobeyville, New Jersey. It's a product that was produced by Kasser of Philadelphia, but they got bought out by Laird, and so now it's Kasser-Laird. Hold on a second. Just wanted to wipe the top of the bottles off. I was at somebody's house Tuesday, and their bottles were covered with dust. And she was like, the lady says, "Oh, all of our bottles are dusty." I was like, I couldn't stand that. I'm saying that to myself. I'd have to stop, take time, and wipe them all down with a towel with hot water. Hope you enjoyed your trip to New York. I was there last weekend. I remember you said you were going. I think I may have just missed you. Came back on Wednesday. Yeah, I didn't get there until Thursday. Good trip. No, it was not a good trip, but I survived it. It was mostly miserable. The tropical storm hit. It put us, I got all these delays. We arrived at Michael's house hours late to do the tasting. Accidentally went through a red light, and then the thing flashed, and I'm going to get something in the mail. I hate those traffic scammers. I call them traffic scammers because, they're penalizing you for, nothing. No one got hurt. There was no wreck. Should you run red lights? No. You shouldn't normally run them. But it's not fair. And I know somebody that got one in New Orleans, but they got rid of all the red light. All the red light cameras and traffic cameras in New Orleans were taken down about 2 years ago. So one good thing the mayor did, probably the only good thing this mayor has done, she only kept them up in school zones, speeding in school zone. Otherwise, they're gone. And but I know somebody that was in New Orleans one time, and there was a car wreck. So the cop was like, "Come on, go through, go through." He's directing this lady to go through, this woman I know. So he made her go through the red light, and it flashed. So they sent her a expensive bill in the mail. And they went to contest it and said, well, the policeman forced me to go through. Oh, well, that's not an excuse. That's what the ticketing board says. That's not an excuse. But that's your National Socialist government. So you like that? Y'all love that? You know, you can stand up and you can be proud to be an American. Well, at least you know you think you're free, right? That's what the song should say, where you think you're free. You could stand up next to you. I had 2 flights back to Florida, got canceled Tuesday. I was stuck in Queens at 2 a.m. when the second flight was canceled. It was a real mess. Yeah, like so. Alex, the beer master, was like, well, the next time you come over here, I said, no, it's probably not going to be another time. And he was thinking like, well, did I do something wrong or do you not like me or whatever? It's like, no, it's like too much. It's too much of a hassle. It's no fun. It's no fun. All right. We drove through Manhattan. I wanted to go through Manhattan and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was going to look like Escape from New York or, you know, Mad Max, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I guess Fox News kind of makes it seem worse than it is. But on the other hand, it probably is really bad. And I just wasn't noticing that from driving down 2nd Avenue in a truck. And then James P. Madonna was with me and he was looking around. He was like, it's been a long time since I've been here. And, you know, he lives across the river from New York and never goes. So here's the crown. It's Latin saying you with us, you with us. You are with us. We're all in this together. You paying and we're getting the money. That was the old Falstaff slogan, because we're all in this together. Falstaff was one of the top 5 brewing companies in America. And then it suddenly just like lost popularity overnight, seemingly. And they were shut down. Their last brewery shut down in 1990. And but I know a lot of old people that told me, they all told me the same story. It must be true. Well, you know, it could be a fable, but they were telling me, yeah, you know what happened to Falstaff, huh? I was 3 years old, you know, when everybody was drinking, and I said, no. Apparently, the word came out that they gave this big donation to the NAACP. And then, like, overnight, nobody was drinking it. Well, you know, a large segment of the population just refused to buy it. And their sales tanked. So they got woke and they went broke. But, of course, it wouldn't do you no good today because all the companies give protection. I call it protection payments. It's like you're paying protection money to all the different, here's my left hand, I'm holding up my left hand, groups. And you say, well, why do you call it protection money? Because it's like either you're going to pay them or they're going to give you a lot of trouble. And then there's going to be all kind of accusations out of the blue that you're doing this and that and you're horrible. And it's not going to end. So they do payoffs, extortion. And that's true. And it's been going on a long time. And and all of that is enabled. You see, all of that stuff is enabled by a government action, such as the certain laws passed in 1964, 65. Remember, lawyers wrote those laws. And I think they were written because they knew that it would be a wonderful tort opportunity where people could claim they were damaged, you know, by some phantom menace, and then they could shake down the company and get payouts to these so-called victims, you know. So it's a big, well, you know, we live in a scam country, really. It's like, you know, think about that, a country built on a scam. All right, it was a great trip for me to see family, but it was a hassle to get back. Right. So I love seeing Alex and Michael and James P. Madonna, and all that was fun. That was fun. But all the other misery, terrible traffic, the tropical storm hitting, and all of that, you know, so I mean, 90% misery for 10% fun is just a downer. And I did notice that nobody on Long Island is wearing masks anymore. I was speaking to my sister about it, and she says they're all over it after going in on the mask 100% for over a year. Yeah, but never I was worried about this yesterday. They're going to come back. I think they're going to make a second attempt to do all the trouble again. But I mean, these people never give up. They never give up. You know. Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you, Maxwell. I mean, you know, the Khmer Rouge didn't give up. They got run out of office, so to speak. You know, they didn't give up. They didn't stop being bad because they just got thrown out by another group that was bad, but not quite as bad. Okay, anyway. I poured too much of one, so I got to start up. Okay, that's the Four Queens. Definitely something you don't want to pour too much of, but it's if the damage is done, you know. So I was so glad when I got home yesterday. I was like, oh man, but I was exhausted. I didn't sleep enough on the trip, and I just said, I'm going to lay down and watch this baseball game. And then I lay down at 6 o'clock to watch a game, but I didn't watch it. I just was out cold, you know. And I got up at 2:41 this morning. But I mean, I was out. I feel a lot better. Okay. They may have trouble pushing the variant nonsense. I think there will be some real pushback next time. I hope so. All these variants, you know, like, you know, that's what these things do. They mutate, and the flu, the common cold, they never go away. They're always here. So these National Socialists that we deal with, they're like, oh, this is such a great thing because we can use it to terrorize and tyrannize the people. And I know they were thinking that back in February and March of 2020, like, ooh, you know, they were so excited. You could just see it. You know, they were just giddy about it. But it's like that Black Sabbath song from 1995, The Illusion of Power. The illusion of power. They think they always miscalculate. And then it comes back on them, you know. But and I can name some years in which that happened, like 1795 and so forth. But that's all right. This is the situation that we live in. We're in this fallen world. You know, this is not a paradise. Did you drive up? Yes, I drove all the way. Big business are woke because they think it will make them more money. Well, I don't think that's really the case. I think it's because they're just paying the protection money. If it wasn't for these certain laws, like I said, 1964 and whatnot, they wouldn't be doing all that. They wouldn't even care. They wouldn't cater to this small group of people. They would just tell them, kiss off, you know, screw y'all. But they're under this imperial control. You know, you've got these gangsters, basically, with all their cause. You know, they got flags. They like to wave flags with different causes and whatnot. And so they're enabled by the empire. They're enabled by the empire. You say the empire, you know, the capital is in D.C., Rome on the Potomac. It's like the Roman Empire, probably much worse. You know, I don't remember the Roman Empire dropping atom bombs on anybody, but, you know, so they're enabled by the empire to squeeze. I mean, the big companies don't mind. I mean, they don't care. They don't have any kind of morals to start with. And generally, I should say, I shouldn't judge them all. But and it's that old corporate government collusion. So they like to be in cahoots with the government because it aces out competition. They don't really like competition, so they have all these laws, regulations to, you know, muscle out, you know, elbow out the little guy. People don't like to hear that. You know, they want to live in their fantasy world. So when I bring up topics that are hard to deal with, people can't deal with it. And people will say, oh, we need to have a serious discussion. What do they say? We need to have that uncomfortable discussion, and you need to be ready to experience discomfort. Well, I've said this a million times, figuratively. I'm always ready for that uncomfortable conversation. I can assure you of that. The problem is you're going to be the one feeling discomfort, okay? And I'm not going to lose. So if you want to have this uncomfortable conversation about, you know what, I'm game. Let's go. But remember, number one, I'm not going to lose. That's a guarantee. You're going to lose. And secondly, you're going to be the one feeling discomfort. I don't feel discomfort talking about these things. Why would I feel discomfort if I'm on the winning side? If I'm right, if you know you're right, why would you feel discomfort? The free enterprise approach wins. It wins. The anti-war approach wins. The anti-imperialism approach wins. It's winning. So when you're on the winning side, you have no fear. Okay. You say, I thought this was about whiskey. It is about whiskey, you know. But when we do these kind of like hanging out at the bar talking, you know how people do. They get all excited. This smells like corn. I just ate corn grits. I don't know. I shouldn't eat corn grits before I do these. This one's more predominant corn, more pungent and whatnot. Big business is woke in a way to hide their partnership with big government. If you notice, the wokeness only got big around 10 years ago at the exact same time of Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party. Right. Exactly. And you can see it playing out in front of you. And I don't know why people can't see it. Like a lot of people are fearful and whatnot. They can't see, like they're showing you the screenplay. Like, it's not a mystery. It's like, here is the screenplay. You can read it. Morning, Ron. Cheers. Cheers to you, Jules. All right. So this one here on the right is a little more pungent. And this one on the left is a little milder. So that's making me right now think if it's got a milder a presentation in the nose, that it's probably the 80 proof. Now I'm gonna tell you, I wasn't too impressed with Sunny Brook. Wasn't totally nasty, but it's not too great. You say, well, that's probably why it was $6.89 a liter. Yeah, that's probably true. Now the Four Queens was $11.99 for the 750, but we're in Louisiana and it's got to be shipped down here. People around Pennsylvania, New Jersey telling me they're getting it for $8.99, 750, but you know, we're not there. We're here. I was there Thursday morning, but I'm glad I'm not. Yeah, it's like musty, you know what I mean? These things taste like old furniture. You say old furniture. Yeah, like an old house with old wood, furniture, and dust. It's like they're old brands and they taste old. They're not old. But I'll talk to you later, Ron. Enjoy your whiskey tasting. Same to you, Ronnie. Have a good Sunday. Y'all don't forget to go to church, everybody. I'm going to 7:30 Mass. That's really important to go to church. But that's another topic. You say, oh, no, not another sermon. I know I'm not going to keep doing that. Now, the Sunnybrooks, they age at least 4 years. The Four Queens is age 3 years. So 3 years versus 4 years. Daniel Harbison. I feel like identity politics is often used by the ruling class as a cudgel to prevent middle and lower class unity, hence the reason corporations are ostensibly socially woke, but also lobby for right-wing economics at the same time. Right. It's called international finance capitalism. All right. And yeah, that's all you ever hear about, socialism versus capitalism. But they're actually in cahoots. You know, it's like, that's why we say international finance capitalism and socialism are two sides of the same coin. They run together. It's like Juno, right? It's so, but people are fooled by it. And they say, oh, that's the two. So they're giving you two choices, but you win the same prize. See, they don't ever mention, you ever notice Fox News or whatever, they don't ever mention free enterprise. That they don't use that term. They just say capitalism or social. That's all they only use those two entities when they discuss. So you got Fox News, that's your international finance capitalism network versus CNN, which is, or MSNBC, which is your National Socialism, International Socialism Network. So, and they fight back and forth, but they're fighting for the same prize, and it's a booby prize, you know. It's like, well, look at the poison I won. And then they say, look at the poison I won, but you're both taking poison. I just soon not take poison. All right. Now you say you're drinking those two things. Now you're taking poison. Well, they're cheap, you know. But look, these cheap whiskeys ain't as bad as people say. You say, well, they ain't as good as people say. Yeah, but who says they're good? Sorry. So there's nobody out there trumpeting these, talking about how great they are. So you don't have that side. But they're not as horrible as people say. You know, people be like, oh, it's horrible. I'd rather drink horse urine. You know, I'd rather be dragged across a bed of nails and all that. It's just, are they great? No. Are they terrible? No. Are they okay? Yeah, they're okay. Would I go out and buy them? I mean, I bought them for reviews. I got them. I bought them. I don't drink liquor anyway. The only time I ever taste it or consume it is when I'm doing taste challenges or a solo review. And that's a true story. Well, anyway, I got to go to the watch the news, local news. So I think this is the Four Queens by virtue of it's a little stronger. Now, which one's better? Honestly, I'm a little surprised, but I'll say it's a tie. It's a draw. I guess Brook wins by virtue of the price point, $6.89 a liter versus $11.99. But then, you know, region to region prices will vary. So it's probably a tie overall if you look at the whole USA. But I'm talking about a tie on price. Yeah, it is the Four Queens. So the 101 proof is showing through. This means more to me that it's more so international neoliberalism more than international socialism. Well, there's some difference, but there isn't really much difference because it's all of those illnesses were concocted in the same laboratory. You know what I'm saying? The same evil mad scientists come up with all of it. All right. Thanks for watching this video production.